gladness and happiness in my heart. Help me put your hands together for Reverend Sister V. Shuaibu. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Praise the Lord. My base for the talk today is Genesis chapter 2, verse 18 to 25. Genesis 2, 18 to 25. Friendship in marriage. After God created everything, as we will find in the text, He created all the animals, the trees, the angels, everything. He brought them to the man and asked the man to name them, giving him authority over what he has created. So man named all the living beings. But we were told, of all the creatures, there was none like him. And so God said, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make him a helpmate like him. That is the foundation for friendship in marriage. And the topic of friendship in marriage answers the two divine purposes of marriage. God created and established marriage for two reasons. The very first one is for friendship, and the second one is for procreation. But most often, we only emphasize the procreation side and forget the friendship side. Because in the beginning, God said there was none of the creatures that is like the man. He doesn't have a companion. All the animals that he named, all the created things that he made, there was none that is close to the man. So God said he was going to make a helpmate for him. And the Hebrew term for that helpmate is Ezer Kenegdo. Ezer Kenegdo. Ezer means a help, and then Kenegdo stands for a mate suitable for him. And the Greek term, the Hebrew term is translated in different forms, because the Hebrew language, for one term, you will have a lot of meaning to it. And so you have to translate it correctly within the context that it is used for you to get the exact meaning of the term in that passage. So that Ezer Kenegdo, especially Kenegdo, can mean one as before him, or one corresponding to him, or one like himself, one in his shape, one in his constitution, one that has his disposition, one fit for him, his counterpart, one suitable to his nature, one suitable to his need. So it can have all this variety of meaning, just that Kenegdo. So it means of all the creatures that God has made, there is none that is his counterpart. There is none that is his nature. There is none that will satisfy his need. There is none that is in his shape, that has his own constitution, that has his own disposition. So of all the creatures, so that is why in our generation, when you hear a man marrying a dog, you begin to wonder. If a dog were to be a companion to the man, there would have been no need for God to create a woman. It becomes an aberration when a human being goes down below his own nature to go and be made intimately with another creature, as we see it happen, and even legalized in some societies. I read somewhere in the net that a woman was marrying a tree. A tree. I wonder. I wonder. A man marrying a man. Because when God was to make a companion for the man, he created a woman, not another man. If God wanted a man to have a man for a companion, he would have created another man, isn't it? Yes. But he created a woman. So, from creation, God has intention for what he has created. But our generation and our society is changing the fundamental nature of what God has intended from the beginning. All that God has intended for his creation was set on the first few days of creation. And the woman was the last creature he created. And some people will say the most beautiful of all the creatures that God has made. She is. She is the rounding up, the concluding of his own act of creation. So God took his time to create the woman. The woman is beautiful from inside out. That is why she is attractive to the opposite sex. And when God created Eve and brought her to Adam, what did he say? At last, it means that he yearned for that companion. He longed for it. He needed it. He desired it. And God saw it and he brought it to him. And when he saw her, he said, at last, this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, she shall be called woman. He named her, but he recognized her as one with him. She has the same bone with him. She has the same flesh with him. She has the same nature with him. She is of his own constitution. She will satisfy his needs. So his exclamation of at last explains the whole intimacy that exists in marriage. And so what God intended for marriage is first of all that compatibility of companionship and friendship. Once that bond is created, other things will fall in line. Other things will take their position. If two friends get married, chances are that their marriage will last. Because if the love of marriage did not keep the marriage to stay long, the friendship they have will sustain the relationship. So it is hoped that married people would create this bond of friendship. This bond, the man will be able to say, aha, this at last is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. She belongs to me. And by the way, this exclamation of Adam is made by every man that meets a woman he wants to marry. It is made because if I am to ask each of the men here, what did you see in the woman that you married? What did you see that attracted you to her? And what did you say to yourself? Some will say their heart went boom, isn't it? Their heart went boom. Some there are no words to describe. For me, that is the divine connection of that relationship. This divine connection of that relationship is beyond words. Sometimes you don't even have the words to describe them. But if you are able to connect at that spiritual and divine level, your relationship will last. Because each man is created for a particular woman, and each woman is created for a particular man. And that is why, from the beginning, God intended that there should be only one man and one woman. Polygamy is not God's creation. So that when we come to the New Testament and they were asking Jesus about divorce, he took them back to Genesis. He said, in the beginning, what was it? God made them male and female, not man and women. No, male and female. He made one man, one woman for each person. So polygamy is our own human invention for our own human satisfaction, but it's not divinely arranged. What is divinely arranged is one man, one woman. And by the way, the name Adam in Hebrew is translated humanity, not just man, as we see it in our Bible. The name for a man in Hebrew as a masculine person is a different name. The name Adam in Hebrew means humanity, and it is connection, the man and the woman together are called Adam. Why are they called Adam? Because they are from the soil, and the earth, the soil in Hebrew is called Adamah. Adamah. So Adam comes from Adamah. So the human being, male and female, come from the soil. And so the human person has a connection with the earth. We are created from the earth, and when we die, we go back to the earth again. So there is that connectivity. And part of that connectivity with the earth that we have is the fact that the earth is fertile, and the human being is also fertile. Fertile in the sense of procreation, fertile in the sense of your heart planting good seeds and producing good seeds also. So that connectivity between the Adam and the Adamah is intended by God, that we have a connection with the earth. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, as you are married, you need to cultivate friendship and intimacy with one another. How do you go about that? Look at your communication as a couple. What do you talk about most of the time? If you are very close to a friend, you know that your communication does not end. It flows naturally. When you go through something, you are longing to meet your friend to share with him. As husband and wife, when you go out for the day and come back, you should be longing to come and share your experience of the day with one another. You should be waiting and longing to meet your wife, to meet your husband, and explain and share what the day has been for you. In that way, you will always have something to communicate. Unlike some married people, they will sit down and say, what are we going to communicate? The man will be reading his newspaper, the woman will be doing her own thing, they will be watching television, or now with handset, you'll be together, but everybody is using the handset. So, for you to sustain your intimacy and connectivity, you need to cultivate that friendship in your marriage, so that you make your wife your friend, you make your husband your friend, you make your children your friends. If you befriend your children, they will not hide anything from you. They will tell you what they are going through in life. You will know what is going on in their life, and you will know how to step in to help them. But if you only play the parents and not bring them close and make friends with them, they will go and share with others. You will not know what is happening in the lives of your children. The same thing for the couple. If you do not create that friendship in your relationship, you will long to meet your other friends. The woman will go and meet her friends. The man will go and meet his friends. And sometimes these friends will not help you in your relationship. They will not. You go and share personal things in your marriage with your friends. They may give you advice that may help you. They may give you advice that may not help you. But if that intimacy and friendship is present and is sustained in your marriage, bringing a third party to your marriage will be almost not there. Because you will resolve your issues on your own. You will be open to share with one another what is going on in your marriage, in your personal life, and then you will be able to resolve your issues. Intimacy in marriage exists at three different levels. At the mind level, at the heart level, at the body level. The mind level in the sense that you think alike, you discuss issues together, you decide on your marital issues together. At the level of your heart, that you feel for one another, feel compassion, feel love, feel sympathy. If she's tired, you understand. If he is worried, you understand. That kind of feeling. And then at the level of the body is the intimacy of sexual relationship that you have. But most of the time, it is the bodily intimacy, the bodily union that is emphasized, while the mind, the heart is not there. But once you have achieved that intimacy at the mind level, at the heart level, the one of the body just happens automatically, and then it seals it up for you. So my dear brothers, sisters, I encourage you to develop your friendship in marriage with your husbands, with your wives, and with your children. Thank you so much.